Welcome, everyone. My name's Todd DeVries. I'm one of the managers at Brynka, and today we're gathering together for one of our periodic users groups. With me on the line from the Brynka side is Brenda Fick, our president, and we also have Peggy Smith and Mark Fenning from our sales team. And everyone will be chiming in throughout the conversation. But what we'd like to do at the top here is just thank everybody for your continued business. Our hope is that these users group sessions provide you, our valued customers, with an opportunity to discuss best practices and share ideas.
We'll go on into Sunioniana then, Catherine Negligen, who will be talking about the intelligent lockers. Here you are.
Hello, everyone. I just turned my video on, but I don't know. Maybe it's going to take a few minutes like it did for Michael there. But so thank you. Thank you, Peggy. So I'm here from Sunioniana, and I'm talking about our lockers that we have at Dragon Express. That's our student package center here, where we ship and receive UPS, USPS, FedEx. Students can purchase shipping supplies from us. And we also do copy and fax services. So just a little bit about us here. Our total enrollment is about 5,400, but we have 2,800 on campus. We have a total of 340 lockers, 160 extra small, 118 small, 58 medium, and 4 large. I'm trying to skip ahead. Oh, there we go. Okay. This is a picture of our lockers. So the picture on the left shows our rear loading lockers. In the picture, you can see how it's very handy because you can have a package sticking out of the rear loading locker, but the students can get it from the other side. The picture on the right is all of our lockers. So looking at that picture, the lockers on the left are the rear loading. We have 6 banks over there. The last 4 banks away from this picture are rear loading, but on both sides, left and right, closest to the picture are the extra smalls. Those are all front loading. We were able to get 6 banks of lockers in January of 2021. And then our brick and mortar bookstore announced the next year that they were going to be closing their doors, and we went to an online bookstore. So in June of 2022, we installed the other half of 6 banks of lockers. And we were very fortunate that the book company actually paid for half of the lockers. So the first thing we do with packages with the lockers is we sort it out by size. So we made this poster. It's on the fridge in between our 2 logging stations in the back there. And that helps us to know if it fits in the extra small, small, medium, or large. And we have like a grocery cart, I call it. It's a wire cart with 2 baskets on it that we put all the extra smalls into. We have a small canvas bucket cart that we put the smalls into. The mediums usually end up on the floor if they're going to get loaded from the back, or they get on a cart if they need to go out front to get loaded on the other side. From there, we try to log all of our large packages first, our large and medium, because then as people get into the smalls and extra smalls, if they already have an item in the locker, we can throw it into the bigger locker with them. So this is the process, what it looks like from the Luxor One app to log to the lockers. So you hit begin. Every employee has their own unique code that we know exactly who's logging what packages. So they put in that code, and then from there, it's kind of the opposite of the Brynka software, but you have to put in the recipient's name first. I implemented, instead of when we switched to everything in a central location, we assigned everyone a dragon number because we're the dragons. So everyone has a dragon number for all 4 years. So you can either type in their dragon number, their first or last name, whatever's easier, and select the recipient. Then over on the right here, you'll see that you can scan in the tracking number. And then from there, you would select the locker size of what size you want to put it in. Once you select that size, it's going to tell me the first available locker starting from 1, depending on if I'm in the front or the back. So you put it in there, and I always tell my students, don't hit next package until that package is in the locker, because there is a chance that it may not fit. If that person already has a package in a locker, it'll tell you this person has one in this small locker. Do you want to add it? And you can add it. And again, you can still put does not fit, and it'll assign you another locker. So that person will then occupy 2 lockers. The recipient will get an email. They can also get a text message too that they sign up for on the kiosk for the first time logging in. So they get an email with a access code and the QR code. And then they would come up and their screen looks like this on the kiosk of the lockers. We have 2 kiosks. And so they would put in their access code, or they would scan the QR code, they would sign, and then it's going to pop open the door for them. So for them, this is what their screen looks like. They can reopen the locker or they can exit. The recipient can also have the app on their phone, which is great for contactless delivery. So as they get close to the locker area, that light at the bottom will go from red to blue and they can open the locker door. It tells them where the locker is. And then the locker door opens and they're thanked and transaction complete. When it comes to mail, we when it's really busy, we log all of our mail under the Brynka software under mail folders. And you can see there on the left, that's what we use to put all our mail in. I think we're at 3,500 pieces of mail we've logged since August, and we don't do anything bigger than this except during Valentine's Day. We might put out a tray next to it because of all the cards. But for the most part, I've seen a lot of campuses that have like walls full of folders for every student, and we just use this filing system and it works wonderful. So each of the file folders will have maybe 10 to 15 pieces of mail in it, and we just pull that folder out, flip through it real quick, and give the person their mail. But you can see that when we log mail, we put a 1x3 sticker on it. So it has their dragon number and it has their track ID, the track ID assigned to that piece of mail. So if we keep it in the mail folder, they obviously have to come to the counter to pick it up. However, when it's slow, at the end of the day, the students will pull all the mail from here and put it into lockers so students can come pick it up from the locker whenever we're closed. We also use the non-delivered mail to locker report. So this will show us any mail that we have in the folder that also has a locker. So we can, if we don't have any more space in the lockers, we can at least pull these 10, 20 pieces of mail and add it to the lockers because these people already have a locker, and it saves them a trip up to the counter. In the beginning of the semester, like right now, our shelves are empty. We're on break right now, but our shelves have been pretty empty lately, so everything fits in the lockers. But in the beginning of the semester, there's a lot that won't fit in the lockers. So once the lockers are full, we start logging in the back with the Brynka software, and we put them on the shelves. As the lockers empty out, we transfer packages to the lockers. So you can see our label there on a package, and the mail stop at the top is the dragon number. So it's very easy to transfer. We just scan that, it pulls up the person's name, and then we scan the track ID at the bottom, and then we pick the locker size. We do not send an extra email through Brynka saying your package is now being transferred to a locker. The original email they get, not that any of them read it, but it does say if a locker opens up before you come to the counter, your package will be put into a locker. So they figure out that the one they got the original email on is the one in the locker. So I tell my students, by the time we close at 5 p.m., the locker should be completely full. Let's get as much off the shelves and the buckets as we can. So we return to sender. We allow packages to sit here for 5 days, sometimes longer.
Hey, Peggy?
Yes.
I have a comment. The labels that you use. Can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you.
So can you tell how much you pay for your labels?
They're
all our users. We're all friends
right
here.
Okay, I was gonna say, well, you can see this label here is a UPS label, and we order them from UPS at no charge. When we order them, we tell them we have a lot of UPS shipments going out. I can share that information with you as to how you order those. The 1x3s, we did have, I think Brynka gave us some when we first started doing the mail. So we have a lot of those. Those ones we have to buy though.
And Jay chimed in. He got the right answer as well. So thank you,
Good,
Catherine.
good. Yes, yes.
Yeah.
So return to sender. So the lockers, I know some campuses do, they allow they allow a package to be in the locker for 24 hours. We do 48 hours. I almost wish we maybe could go to 24 hours, but so a student will get a reminder after their package is in the locker for 24 hours. And then they're told like you have 24 more hours to pick up your package. And then the status will change to return to sender. So in the morning, we only RTS in the mornings, and usually only the supervisor or myself will do this. We put in our pickup code, and then it tells us what packages to collect. We don't pull them on Mondays because for some reason the students don't come up over the weekend. And on Mondays we have like 100 packages to pull. So we wait till Tuesdays, get that number down a little bit. And then it goes on our shelf. So then we transfer it in Brynka we have an email that's transfer from locker to shelf. And the student is notified that your package has been pulled from the locker. You now have to come pick it up at the counter, but it will be returned to sender in 3 more days. And then after that, if they don't pick it up, it goes back. So depending on the path the package or mail takes, like sometimes if it goes to the shelf, then it goes to a locker, it could have more time than 5 days here. But we try to be strict with our 5 days, except in the beginning of the semester, we're a little more lenient when students are getting the lay of the land and trying to figure things out. This is a report in Brynka, the locker size usage summary. So of the 62,000 packages, just over 62,000 that we received since August, 69% of those packages went into the lockers. And so you can see the different sizes and how many went into each. It's a very cool report to have.
Hey,
That's
Catherine.
interesting that 48%, 47% for extra small, huh, Catherine?
Yeah, I love our extra smalls, and I really thought our extra smalls would be for mail, but we get so many small Amazon packages or small packages that those things fill up fast, with things that you can just fold up and put in there. So we love our extra small lockers. Yeah. And that's all I have for you. Does anyone have any questions? Feel free to take down my email, my phone number, if you want to call or shoot an email. You can ask me questions now.
Catherine, there is a question from Lori Brady. And her
Yes.
question is, do you get any pushback on returning mail or packages?
From students or from faculty? We really don't. We're pretty animate on our policy. It's in the emails, they know. And students know when they come up, like, oh, shoot, like, whoops, I forgot to come pick it up. I do get parents that will call and be like, my daughter didn't get her package yet. So I'll look it up and I'll be like, listen, it's on our return to sender shelf because she got notified 5 days ago. She needs to come pick it up where it's getting returned. So we don't really get a lot of issues with that. I do, now that we're doing the books, our auxiliary services kind of oversees the book contract, and they think it's unfair that we return packages after 5 days. But like I said, at the beginning of the semester, we're very lenient with it. But if they start getting books after that, they get 5 days to come pick it up. And to me, if you're ordering it, you need to come get it. We're not a storage facility. So they kind of were like, we don't think that's fair, but sometimes I'll email them a list of like, okay, these students haven't come pick up. Do you want to reach out to them? They send an email, they still don't come pick up. And then we just send them back to the book company. But no, it's not, we don't really get a lot of issues with that.
Well, Lori replied to you saying she's going to reach out to you because she
Sure.
needs some advice. She's having some conversations with her
Higher up.
sounds like.
Okay. Yeah. I'd like to chat.
And I think there's another comment about whether or not the second notice is automatic.
Yes, it is automatic.
And a question from Cheryl. Bryce, how long have you had your lockers? We didn't know we could get rear loading lockers. So, Catherine,
Rear
can you
loading
answer?
lockers
Mhm.
are amazing. We had them installed. Our first 6 banks were installed January of 2021. And we made space for another 6 banks, but we just didn't know when we would be allowed to get them. So, like I said, the bookstore really helped push that along, that, hey, if you're going to give us all this, we need more lockers. And there was no pushback on that. COVID actually helped with the lockers too, because we were able to say, hey, contactless delivery, these are going to be a wonderful thing. And there was no turning back.
You were able to get funds in from that
I'm not
CARE
sure.
Act?
Actually, we didn't fund them with COVID money, but this area was under construction. We're in a brand new space. So we had to use construction money for the first round of the lockers. And then the second round, half of it was paid for by the book company. And the other half came out of, the campus budget.
So that's a good point about the financing of it. I know
Yes.
Washington University, they received CARE Act, some funds from the CARE Act through residential life, and I've heard of others who have done the same. But like you said, not maybe from your own budget, but from the capital budget,
Yeah.
the renovation budget. So
Yes. Stop sharing the screen. Oops.
thank you for all of that, Catherine Nelligan
Yes,
from
you're welcome.
SUNY Oneonta, and for those wonderful slides. Really, really appreciate that.
So thank you again for being just wonderful customers. And again, if there's anything that you think that would enhance, or is there anything that you saw that you would like to try or work on, just let us, either Mark or Peggy know. You could just do info@Brynka, and one of us will definitely get back to you as soon as possible. So thank you, everyone. We
All right,
appreciate your business.
Yep. Bye.
Thanks, Peggy. Thanks,
thank
Mark.
you.
Thanks, Todd.
Thank
Thanks.
you all.
Everyone, have a good
Everyone.
afternoon.
Okay, all right. Thanks again, Mike, Catherine, Lisa.